Hello, gentle hustlers. How is everyone? I feel like I've not been live for so long after the 5K Your Way experience. It feels like it's been a long time. So come on, say hello when you're jumping on. Let me know when you're live. Let me know if you're watching the replay as well. I'm just having a moment, rushing around, hot flush kind of moment. So let me know when you're jumping on. There's always kind of a delay. Hey Sharon, how are you, lovely? Right, here's what I have for you. So let me pop this in here. There is a little kind of playbook, play sheet you can also go through if you choose to. Hey Jodie, how are you, lovely? Hey Jill, I can't see who else is on. So I am going to pin that to the top. So if you're jumping on, there is at the top in the pinned comment, hopefully it's not going to get in my way, it's very confusing. There is and by the way, for anyone who thinks you need technology to make sales, you don't. Look at me, fluffing all over it. Fluffing? It's not even a word. So there is a play sheet you can use to go through this, because I'm going to be sharing quite a lot with you tonight, and I would love for you to make it as actionable as possible. So I'm great, thank you, Sharon. Very good, very good. Okay, hair's a bit crazy, that's okay. I've got a whiteboard, so hopefully you've brought your best reading eyes. My writing on whiteboards don't tend to be very good, so let's start. So I'm a little bit late, apologies for that as well, lovelies. Mama duty's called. So what I'm going to share tonight is, let me give you a little recap. I'm going to be sharing a very personal story, one that I haven't shared really, well, I definitely haven't shared it openly. There is more detail about it in Laura Lucas's amazing product, but this is something that feels like it's got to come out to give you context of where I'm coming from. It's like the missing piece of my journey that actually puts it all together. Hey Laura, hey Stephanie, hey Maxine, how are we all doing? So what I'm going to share with you, let me go through the bullet points. I'm going to share with you how most courses are not sustainable and how you can change this. I'm going to share with you the biggest block that stops most courses being sold and what you can do about it right now. I'm going to share with you the #1 reason you are wasting your time, energy and money following blueprints. And I'm going to share with you the exact course creation process that I use to create courses that sell out. So, hey Astrid, how are you? So if you're just joining, there is a pinned link which has a little play sheet. Hopefully I've got the right one. A little play sheet that you can go through whilst we're doing this as well. So what I would like to know right now is who would like to be making consistent money with their courses. If you just drop me some hearts or write me some comments or let me know. Because the thing with courses is that it's this one-to-many, but you can also really personalize it. You don't have to create it in the way that we've all seen everybody else do it. You can create your own way of doing things. And what a course really means is that you get to position your energy, like your highest energy, as the highest energy for your clients. And that means that you can give more value, and also you can charge more, you can do loads of different things. But for me, what's really important, yeah, everyone's saying yes. I've seen loads of hearts. Jodie saying yes, Sharon saying yes, please. Amazing. Because for me, what a course allows me to do is to really create impact in people's lives, and it allows me to create freedom. And it also means that the people who want to dive deeper can dive deeper with me and work on a high level. You don't have to be part of a group to work with me, but the group work is something that I really love, because we can all, in a group experience, we can all learn so much from the dynamic that's there, from the people who are there, and the combined experience of that is really powerful. The collective energy of, you know, like a focus container. So with my program Gentle Hustle, it's 10 weeks long. The collective focused energy on intention for 10 weeks is so powerful. so it really makes a huge difference. Laura's saying a hybrid of group and one-to-one, I think. Yeah, and that's a little bit like Gentle Hustle, to be honest, because you've got the group aspect, but you've also got, there's certain aspects of it, like the money magnet sessions, like the one-on-one with me for the funnel creation. That is a hybrid as well. Your groups are delish. Love it. Thank you, Laura. Okay, but first, before I do that, I want to share with you a story. And most of you will have heard the story about how I got started in business. And I was in this position where I knew that I had more to offer, that I had more to share with the world. And I had tried to birth it so many times over. And it wasn't until I became super proud mama of my little bear Archie and was leaving him 3 days a week to do this 400-mile commute, work a full-time job and a pub job to make ends meet. And he was only 4 months old, and I was just like, this is not what I had, this beautiful baby boy who I was told I would never have. This is not why I'm here. This is not what I'm about. It doesn't feel good at all. And so that was like my momentum to actually get out there and start building the business. And so I did. And I made so many mistakes. I mean, I've been in business 7.5 years now. I've made so many mistakes. And I went through all the blueprints. I went through all the trainings. And when they didn't work, I went into group coaching. When that didn't work, I went into one-on-one coaching. I was constantly maxing out my credit cards. I was constantly looking to somebody else for their blueprint, for a proven solution. This is what we're looking for, right? We're looking for the evidence, because I've not run a business before. I don't know what I'm doing, is what I would tell myself. And so I'm looking for this proven way of doing it, because my intelligent side, which I know you all have, is going, where's the evidence? Where's this going to work? And probably in the background, we've got family and friends thinking we're absolutely crazy. Certainly I did, because of the time that I chose to start my business. Going through this whole, what are you doing? Just get a job, just go back to work, just do something normal. And so all of this is going on. And what I did was I would follow these people who were really super successful and be like, I just want a piece of it. And I said earlier on in one of my, or yesterday in one of my messages, that I found myself there again, where I was literally falling head over credit card to get myself signed up at the back of the room. We've all been there, right? We go to these events and it's like a rush to the back of the room to get signed up. And what actually happens is nothing that I thought was going to happen was actually delivered. So then I sign up for another thing, and then nothing that I thought was going to happen was really delivered. And it's all this mess of like blueprint on top of blueprint on top of blueprint that leads to confusion. It leads to burnout. It leads to overwhelm. And it definitely does not lead to results. And so what happened was, my business was fine. So yes, I had a 6-figure business. Yes, I was working primarily offline. That was never my calling. So green jelly as it was never my calling. It was never my big message. And yes, I could stand online and be like, oh, I've got a 6-figure business and I can travel all around the world and world school my son and have this perceived freedom. I did have freedom, but a lot of it was still perceived freedom because of the travel aspect of it. And I couldn't really ever step into the piece that I really wanted to share, which is this piece around gentle hustle, because freedom's super important to me. Integrity, very important, like really important. So I couldn't ever step into gentle hustle and really share that message, because I didn't feel like I was coming from a place of integrity. So 6 years on, after doing all these blueprints and burning out and maxing out credit cards and really not having a great experience and definitely not learning from it, I'm in a place where I really have got this burning soul message that I want to get out and birth into the world. Because whilst my agency is turning over good money, I've still created in effect a job with people I didn't massively like working with. And I would get that flip stomach feeling, you know, when you get emails from people you're not in alignment with. And I started getting that, and I was like, if I was sharing my message in integrity, I would absolutely be saying to people, what are you going to do to get rid of those clients so that you can step into alignment? And so here's what happened. I'm out in Bali with Archie, and we're there for 3 months, and we're having an experience. It wasn't the best experience. It wasn't the worst experience at that time. It was definitely not the romanticized experience that I had anticipated. And It was a really bizarre time, actually. But what happened was that Archie had a day off school really randomly. So I just got onto Airbnb and saw that there was this really lovely place in Ubud. And I was like, come on, Archie, if you've got time off school, we're going to go to this place in Ubud. Turns out it's the Eat, Pray, Love place. I didn't have any idea. So we're like actually in the Eat, Pray, Love place with a holy man. That particular holy man has died, but I had a reading with his son. And what I remember is that we sat down by the pool and Archie was swimming and I was reading Daniela Port's Firestarter Sessions. And in it, she talks about an agency that she'd created that morphed into something that wasn't what she wanted or desired. And then she had this meeting that literally pulled the rug from under her feet and said, you're not going to be a part of this company anymore. And so she then moved on after that point, after the oh shit moment, moved on to creating everything that we know Daniela Port for now. And I was like, oh my God, she is so lucky. She is so lucky to have had that moment. And obviously it was what I was craving for. And I remember on that day as well, I went up onto the balcony and created a video that was just like, Gentle Hustle is being birthed because this is the moment, this is the time. And it had so much energy behind it. It got so much traction and it was just amazing because I could feel it. And what happened was then I got an email from one of the clients who gave me the flip stomach feeling, and I got the flip stomach feeling again. I said, oh, and like I got so hyped up and so excited about Gentle Hustle, and then I was like, boom, straight back down here. And so I said, come on, Archie, let's go get some food. And as we're walking up the road, my flip-flop on my right foot randomly broke, which to me was all about you cannot keep moving forwards using only logic. And I was like, okay, I got it. Then I had my reading. Oh my God, the reading was basically everything that I share. And I was like, yeah, I know. And it was almost like he had given me even more permission to step up and really share the message. And so I fired some clients, and then the rest of my clients basically left. And so I'm in this oh shit moment of I've got no income coming in apart from legacy debt, which is not a great thing to have in your business, right? So all of a sudden, and this was only this time last year, all of a sudden I'm like, I've got no income coming in, but I've got a message to get out there. The easiest thing for me to do would have been to get Green Jelly back up and running in the way that it was. That would have been by far the easiest thing for me to do. The right thing for me to do was to fully step into Gentle Hustle and to really share my message about this way of doing business. And the reason that I can share this with the passion, with the energy that I do, is because this is how I live my life. This is how everything in my life is. There is nothing that I share that is out of integrity, out of alignment, things that I don't do, things that I haven't done. So everything that I share is coming from this place of integrity, which I never could have done before. Does this resonate? Does this, like, how is everyone feeling about this? Because I'm going to be honest, this is quite a hard thing for me to share because I did go through those times of doubt and uncertainty. And like I said, I've shared quite a lot about this in Laura Lucas's project. From, is it Broke to Abundant, Laura? Let me make sure I've got that right. Broke to Abundant. I shared quite a lot about this, but that was hard to feel like I was starting again after being in a successful business, to feel like I was failing as a mum, to feel like, who am I to share this to, because at that time I didn't have any proof at all that the way that I knew, that I intuitively knew that business worked was going to work for me. I had zero proof of that ever happening. The only proof I had at that point was like I knew that I could always make money. And so I knew that I would always be okay. But I don't want to be just okay. Like I want to be wildly wealthy and create massive impact. So loads of people resonating with this. Yeah, breakthrough to abundance. Thank you, lovely. I really feel you so much. Yeah, exactly. And this is why I get so passionate about this, because I know how fast everything can turn around. And I'm not joking with you when I say that 25K is my new norm. So from losing everything, like literally losing everything this time last year, and still being stuck in, like I literally felt like I was stuck in Bali. Didn't really know anybody. We'd moved to this more residential place in Bali. it was just like we couldn't get anywhere, or it felt like all of my freedom had crumbled down around me in the place where I was supposed to get all this freedom. And so from the outside, it's very easy for people to see, oh, you're in Bali and you've got all this great time, because of course I'm going to share all the beautiful pictures. You really did not want to see me dancing around, jumping on cockroaches and stuff like that, you know. So it's something that I really feel passionate to share about, because A, I want you to know that things can turn around super fast. B, obviously I want you to know that this works. I want you to understand that I really understand more vividly than ever where you are now. So when I talk about crying in my baby's head at night because I didn't know how I was going to pay for food, that was pretty recent, really. Like, it happened again. And what I get to take from this is what I get to share with you, and to know, like, I know that I'm in flow because I'm making more money now than I was in my agency, with more ease and more freedom. And so that is what I want to share with you, okay? Laura's saying this is the initiation we get to go through, the step. Yeah, absolutely. The initiation. I'll tell you something. When you say the word initiation, I remember doing some work with Antonina Andreeva, who's amazing. She activated my DNA. Look her up if you don't know her. And I was sharing about how my ex killed himself when we split up. And it's not a story I share about loads, but I was sharing about it, and she said, yeah, that was your initiation. That was your initiation. I was like, oh man, I prefer vodka shots, but okay. Okay, so who wants me to tell you how I went from that to creating a course that sold out, like, just by organic posts? Yeah, Antonina does rock. Oh, thank you, Jodie. Beautifully authentic and really touching. Thank you, lovely. Let me know who would like to know. Who would like to know how to create courses without huge audiences, without ads, without funnels, without technology, in the most beautiful flow and ease that you can, to step into, create a course, sell it out. Super easy. Who'd like to know that? Let me know. I'm looking around like I really wish I brought water with me. Archie was insistent. He wanted me to do this up here so that he could hear me. Laura saying, me. Let me see some hearts. Let me know who'd like to know. I do want to, Jodie saying yes, please. Okay, so I do want to say something really super quickly. I want to be really honest with you. There is no secret formula. There is no secret formula at all. There is nothing special about me. There is, like, what I do is bold, aligned action. You can all do that super easily, okay? All right then, loads of people want to know. So what did I promise I was going to share with you? Okay, how most courses that are created are not sustainable, and how you can change this in your world. Okay, the first thing that I know is that when I have gone through this process before, when I've gone through the process of creating courses, I realized that they can never be sustainable in the way that they're first created. And what I mean by that is that if you create a course that you are planning to sell forever and a day, this is what we're taught, right? But create a course, sell it over and over again, deliver it over and over again. Most courses get this element of group coaching or Q&A or one-to-one stuff, or there's some aspect where you've got to give, and you know, or you're getting people onto a sales call to sell it, and there's actually a lot of your energy that can go into these courses. So, and what we end up doing is creating things in our business based on what we've experienced in the past or what we see other people doing. So it's almost like there's this paradigm that there's the right way of doing things. And what I have experienced is that when I've created courses in the right way, what has happened is I haven't ever felt in alignment with them. And the biggest reason why I've not felt in alignment with them is because my boundaries have not been taken care of. Oh, Laura, there's so much special about you. Thank you. There's so much special about you too. There's so much special about all of you here. And that's why I know that you can take this weight. Sorry, I had a glass of red wine earlier, and I noticed that when I have a glass of red wine, my nose itches. Joe, I think Joe might be on the call. She told me it's the sulfates. So when we create a course where we're not taking care of our boundaries as the first thing that we do, here's what it looks like. We end up creating a course based on what we see, what we've experienced, what other people are doing, and we start to put loads and loads of stuff in. So we're going to put a welcome call in, we're going to put some group coaching on, we're going to put some Q&A sessions. We're going to put all these things on, and we're just going to turn it evergreen, because that's super easy, right? To turn a course evergreen, really easy. Everyone talks about it. That's like the key to being a millionaire. Just turn it evergreen. And also, the best way to get people to buy from you on your course is to get them on a sales call. So you've got to do all these sales calls. You've got to do all these welcome calls. You've got to do all this like Q&A. You've got to do all this group coaching. You've got to give your soul. Do you see how that quickly becomes another job? This is not a version of freedom. And what happens is everybody's alignment is different. So when you're looking at your own alignment, you get to create from that space first. If you are not in alignment with your boundaries, what you're actually going to do is create barriers all the time to selling. Because if it's not in alignment with your boundaries, it's not sustainable. You're going to burn out. If you pile all these things on without thinking, how many hours do I actually want to work in my business? How much of me do I actually want to give to the people I'm working with? How do I actually want to sell this course? How do I want to turn it evergreen? Do I want to turn it evergreen, or is this just a thing I've been told that I should do? When you're not working with your boundaries, there is no part of this that is sustainable. Does that resonate? If you've created a course that is actually taking 60 hours a week to deliver and sell to meet your goals, does that become sustainable in your world? Does that actually create freedom? What do you think? Let me know while I try and manifest some water. Exactly. I'm seeing some hearts. It doesn't make any sense to me. And this is why I'm like the ultimate question. I'm like, why are we doing it like this? Surely we start with, because everyone starts with, how much do you want to earn? Yes, work on that too. Obviously, you want to earn the money, you want to be wealthy, but nobody really works on how many hours do you want to work? How many hours do you want to put in your course? How much of your energy do you want to put into your course? How much of your family time do you want to sacrifice to do that? How much of your self-care, of your development time do you want to do that? How much of your travel time? Can you give an example? Yeah, of course. So if I have my boundaries that are in alignment with me, and I say, okay, I only want to work school hours. So say, I don't know, 10 to 2, and I only want to do that 4 days a week, because you can totally create whatever rules you choose. And so that's, what is that? 10 to 2, 4 hours, 16 hours a week. And then I create a course, and I'm like, right, my course is going to be £1,000, and I want to make £100,000 a month. And so I've got to get like 200 people on sales calls if my close rate is 1 in 2. This is an extreme example, obviously. And then all of a sudden I'm not working 16 hours. So how many people do you think I'm going to go out and get on sales calls if I know already that my boundaries are being compromised? Or if I know that every person who comes into the course, because I've piled on a load of bonuses like a one-on-one session when you start, or group Q&A, or Q&A sessions, or another one-on-one halfway through just because it sounds like a nice bonus, and then I'm going to package it up and sell it for £300, and you actually look at the value exchange and how much your energy you're putting in, your boundaries are compromised. So how many are you going to go and sell if you know, because generally we don't look at the boundaries, so we don't always know, but we know that this is not going to be sustainable for me because these boundaries are way too much. The cost of this course for me is too high. The cost of sacrificing my time, energy, focus, value is too high when you don't look at your boundaries first. Does that make sense, Maxine? And that's what it becomes, because when the cost is too high, you end up sacrificing something. So what is the first thing we sacrifice? Generally our self-care, because our families still need us. We sacrifice our personal development because our families still need us. We're actually sacrificing all of the things that we are using to develop ourselves. And when we develop ourselves, we show up better for our clients. So actually what happens is, even if you sell the course and you get people into this container with you, but your boundaries don't feel good, you're giving too much for not enough value back, it's costing you too much for not enough back, what happens is energetically you don't fully show up for your clients, and there starts to be this air of resentment. So they don't get the great results, you don't feel good about doing it, and then you're like, I'm never delivering the course again. It's not sustainable, right? or they don't get the results, so you don't get the amazing testimonials that you can then share with people. So not sustainable. Do you see how it has such a knock-on effect on everything? Laura's really starting to get the boundaries thing. Does this make sense, Maxine, lovely? So when you start from a place of looking at your boundaries and create what it is that you're building on that, it becomes sustainable. Trust me, done it every other way, burnt out, resented. I've learned all of these lessons. Or just not sold because it's totally out of alignment with my boundaries. If it looks like I'm going to have to spend more time on a course that is making me less money than doing one-to-one work, what am I going to do? I'm going to do the one-to-one work all day long. I'm not going to sell the course. If it looks like it's going to cost me something, or I'm going to sacrifice something to deliver a course because I built it out of what I've seen other people do rather than what is true for me, not going to feel good doing it. No one's going to get results. Yes? Amazing. Maxine's got it. Perfect. So here's the one thing you can do right now is if you run a course right now, have a look at your boundaries within it. Like, do they feel good? And I would look at time. I think there might even be a video in here somewhere about boundaries. I would look at time, energy. And when I mean energy, I'd like you to look at two things very specifically. Time, energy, and energy is your value exchange, so how much value you're giving for how much you're receiving. In other words, what the money is for you. And the third thing when it comes to energy is how much of you are giving. Because if you are giving people access to you on Messenger 24/7 and you're answering straight away, that's pushing you way out of boundaries with your time, with your allowance of what's going on for you and your space to create for other things you want to do. Unless it feels really good for you, then totally do that. But I have definitely done that before from the place of I should be, or because my people pleaser's going crazy. Like, answer them. Or actually, here's what I spoke about earlier. It was actually from a place of my own self-importance. Oh, they need me. I need to answer this right away. I've got to answer this right away. They need me so much. Even though it was knocking me out of my boundaries, which then has an energetic impact on everything else that you do in your business, in your life. Okay? So the first thing to do is to have a look at your boundaries right now, and to also understand the cost of not being within your boundaries has for you. And then, you know, in the pay sheet, I've said, what is the one thing you can do right now to change that? Because when you know what it is, you can change it. When we have this awareness, we can change it super fast. And when are you going to action that by? Like, literally put a date down. You can do this thing really quick. You don't have to spend weeks planning it. You can take action really quickly on this. So the next thing, the biggest block that stops most courses being sold and what you can do about it right now. Does anybody have any idea what the biggest block is for most courses not being sold? Does anyone already have an idea? I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Let me know. These all lead really nicely on, actually. So you've probably had a few clues in what I've already said. It's not boundaries. I mean, boundaries definitely can stop courses being sold. What do you think is the number one reason that stops courses being sold? Oh, this delay is frustrating. Come on, people, let me know. Because I'm going to get the whiteboard out in a minute. The whiteboard is coming out. Anyone got any guesses? Overthinking and never getting it out there. Yeah, overthinking is definitely one of them. Definitely something that can stop you. Okay, here's what I believe is the biggest reason that most courses don't sell. It's because we're building it generally in a really weird way. I was going to say upside down, but I don't really think it's upside down. So who's seen my gentle hustle triangle before? I bet most of you have. Oh, it gets worse every time I draw it. Oh my goodness. So bear with me. This is like, maybe I should have done a bit of a Blue Peter thing. Okay, so my beautiful triangle. Okay, the base of your business. This is a business model in itself. Okay. Money to sell them or target market. Okay, firstly, you don't need money to sell them. You absolutely don't. I didn't have money to sell my courses at all. And Gentle Hustle now is on its third time of refinement before it goes into a funnel, before it gets put into a process. So it's never had ads behind it. Okay. So the first thing that is super important is your alignment. Okay. Oh God, I get so confused with this camera. Is your alignment. And what I mean by that is your alignment with your boundaries. We've just discussed this. Your alignment with your values, with why you're doing this. Okay. You start the business. Most people go straight into the next thing, which is soulmate client. And actually most people call it like ideal client avatar or something really, you know, like, ooh, it's the only way I can describe that. So most people start with who are you selling to, what are you selling, what are you charging, how are you going to get it out there? And actually not many people look at this. Why are you doing what you're doing? What is your version of freedom? What are your boundaries around that? What are your values around that? How do they become the base of your business? How do they become the foundation of your business? Okay. And then you look at who your soulmate client is. Now, your soulmate client is only one person. It's not a whole target market. It's not an ideal client avatar. It's somebody who you can genuinely connect with. And it's you a few steps back. You get to choose that point in time. Okay. So when you really connect with your soulmate client and really understand her, something really beautiful happens. Because and Laura and I were speaking about this the other day, actually, that when you get to really go to where your soulmate client is, most people won't go there because it's actually quite painful for you to go there. And here's why. When you recognize that your soulmate client is you a few steps back and you want to connect with the pain, with the thoughts, with the feelings, with the emotions that they're in right now, because most of us are in this space because we want to change other people's experience of what we've been through. And generally we've changed our experience because when you get to a point where change happens, it's usually like a breaking point that doesn't always feel very good. And so when we go back and connect to that space, it can bring up unresolved trauma or resistances or energy or things that we've just buried down and we don't really want to talk about or think about or look at. And for me, I always know when I'm on the biggest kind of breakthrough with what I'm sharing is when I get unresolved feelings of guilt and shame come up. It's always the guilt and shame because it's the mama guilt, obviously, with Archie. But when I get those feelings of guilt and shame, firstly, I know how to resolve that. And secondly, I'm like, this is going to be really good. And there is no coincidence that that is when I get the most sales calls booked or make the most sales or have the most people reach out to me randomly from nowhere and say, I need to find out more about how to work with you. So when we can really deeply connect with our soulmate client, not only does it mean that our messaging, our marketing, our magnetism is on fire, but it also means that we get to craft a course that is absolutely perfect for her. And I'm going to walk you through that in a second, that creation. But let me go back to the triangle. So you want to connect with your soulmate client and really understand what she is looking for. And you want to connect with her. Oh, my writing's not good. You want to connect with her on a soul deep level. Like really connect with her on a soul deep level, especially if you are building an audience as you're doing this, especially if you are making impact as you're doing this. You want to connect, you want to get in there, you want to make it deep connection as quick as possible. I mean, you want to do that anyway, because like we've got something that's going to like really save you time and energy and frustration, whatever field you're in. We've got this magical thing. Let me get it to you. Yeah. We're of service to them. We're supporting them and serving them with what we have. So we want to connect with them really deeply. And then we want to create an offer that is going to be really perfect for them. Yeah. So here is what it is. It's the offer, but it's about more than an offer. It's about more. And when I say offer, I mean a course, but you can totally apply this to everything. I'm going to walk you through in a moment my exact process that I walk through to create courses, to create offers super quick. Like you give me any industry, I'll do it for you right now. Maxine's saying, wow, you're killing me with your note. Oh, thank you, lovely. Hey, Esmeralda. Okay, so you want to create this offer, and it's not about creating a course, it's not about creating a program, any of that stuff. It's about creating transformation. What is the transformation that you are delivering for your soulmate client in this moment? What is it that she is looking for right now? And how are you going to take her on that journey? I'm going to walk you through that in a moment so you can do it too. But when you've got the offer, you've got to sell the offer. But selling is of service. You're not selling, it's not sleazy, it's not like sales scripty. What you're actually doing is having a conversation. Okay? That's all you're doing. Whoa, where do I need to put this? You're just having a conversation with them because you've already connected. They already understand that they need you and that you are the person to deliver this massive transformation in your offer. So you have a conversation with them. A conversation, by the way, doesn't have to be a sales call. A conversation can be over Messenger. It can be a sales post. It can be a sales page. It can be a video like this. It can be anything that you choose to have the conversation and say, hey, you know I'm the right person to work with you. Here's what I got for you. Does that make sense? We get to keep this super simple. If it's not simple, if it's not fun, if it's not making loads of money, then scrap it out of your business. That's what this is like my mantra. Okay, so conversation. And up here, this is where all the technology comes in. So this is like ads funnels. There is a video about this in the 5K Your Way. I'm not going to go too much into that because it's not massive. Well, I could. So here is the love story, which is a journey you take people on to really deepen connection. Here is your funnel, which is a way to automate that process. And here are your ads, which is a way to get lots of people through your funnel. But right now, here are the pieces that are the main pieces to creating a course. Because what you don't want to do is go and create a course right now. What you want to do is actually work out who your soulmate client is. Connect with her. Understand what it is that she is looking for. Offer it to her through a conversation. Have her buy it, then deliver it, and then tweak it, refine it, however many times you want to do that. Create loads of really amazing testimonials, and then automate it all. And then you can totally turn it evergreen. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense to you. And I'm going to get onto the block. Does this make sense? So let me explain. Okay, when I've spent an absolute fortune on these courses that tell you how to make courses before, what happened was nobody ever talked about my alignment. What they said is you've got to work out who your ideal client avatar is, which was effectively a group of people that had vague similarities that you're supposed to be able to connect with. I'm like, well, that's not really my thing. So I actually want to connect with a person, not a vague community with similarities. And then you ask these people to tell you what they want. Well, I tell you what, when I was my soulmate client, I had no idea what I wanted. In fact, what I wanted was a blueprint. The irony, right? What I wanted was a blueprint. So do you think your soulmate client is actually going to know what they want for you to put in a course? And I'm not saying you don't lead with something that is enticing for them, but that doesn't make up the whole of your course, because you know what they actually need. You know. And when we can step into this trust and alignment for that, then they've got everything they require in that moment, okay? So when it comes to the offer, then what I was always told, build a funnel, set up some ads. Oh, when it comes to the offer, the other thing I was always told, build out the course, put it on a platform like Teachable. It's super easy to use. Well, so what? I haven't sold it once. How do I know it's going to sell? No. Build all the course. Spend the money on the editors. Spend the money on the designers. Make it look really slick. Spend the money on the course. Okay, so I did that. Spent the money on the course. Made it look really slick. Oh, now we've got to make a funnel and send ads to it. Well, I've never even sold it once, so I don't even know what I'm saying to sell it or if it's going to sell. And it's just a bit like, let's just see if this is going to work. Does that make sense? Who's heard that before? I mean, it's missed out so many steps, really. And this is not a blueprint because you get to choose your own way on every piece of this. This is like foundational. You get to choose your own way to create this. There's no like, oh, do this, then do this, then do this. But here's what I do know is you need to be in alignment with everything that you're doing and your boundaries and your values, otherwise it's not sustainable. You need to be in alignment with your soulmate client, otherwise it's never going to speak to her. You need to connect with her on a soul deep level, not surface level vanilla marketing that doesn't stand out from the crowd, that a lot of people on Facebook do, because it's like, I get to share a piece of content, but it's not really going deep. It's not really connecting. It's not really stepping into vulnerability. Okay? Jude's watching this, and Jude's one of my current clients, and she and I have the vulnerability conversation quite a lot. And actually, Jude really stepped into vulnerability with her message, which is a really deep message. And she had the best engagement and the most people reach out to her than ever before, because vulnerability is what people connect to. When you can show up and be real and share your truth, it really works. So and then the offer, like, don't spend ages making a course. Get an offer out. I'm going to show you how to do it in literally 2 minutes. Get an offer out, sell it, make it super easy for people to buy, deliver it, get the testimonials, and then create all these things. Like the way that people buy, when I first sold Gentle Hustle, and I'll tell you the story about how I did that in a moment. When I first sold Gentle Hustle, it was a PayPal me link. There was nothing fancy. There was no sales page. It was just like private message. If you're interested, let me know. Private message people and said, this is what I'm thinking about doing, but it's co-creation, so it could change because it was the first time I ran it. Here's the PayPal me link. Are you in? Are you out? Sold out with 2 organic posts on my Facebook group. So this is where I'm saying, create an offer, have a super simple conversation and sell it. And if you want to make it evergreen and put a funnel in place for it, then absolutely. But don't do those things first. The key to all of this is being in alignment with all of these. Like, be in alignment with all of these. If you're not feeling your soulmate client, then how can you really speak to her? If you're not feeling how you're showing up and connecting, if you're doing it because you feel like you should, or because someone's once told you that you've got to post 3 times on Facebook every day and you're just posting regurgitated stuff because you've got to do it, but there's no inspiration coming because it's coming from a stifled place, then it's not going to work. If you are creating an offer because that's how you've seen somebody else doing it, well, we already spoke about that with the boundaries, firstly. Secondly, you're never going to sell it. How can you stand up and sell something that is out of alignment with you? Because energetically, people will feel that. Your words speak volumes. Your energy speaks louder. If it's out of alignment with these things, people know. They can't necessarily articulate it, but they know. And the conversation, keep it super simple. If you have been told to get people on sales calls and sales calls make you physically go, oh, then maybe that's not the best way to sell. But we put us, and I'm all for stretching comfort zones and being bold and taking courageous action. And I'm also all for making money. So if we get to make money in a simple way, why overcomplicate it just because that's something that we believe should happen? Does this make sense? Drop me some hearts if this made sense, because I'm going to share with you the number 1 reason you're wasting your time, energy, money, following blueprints that are like the ones that I followed for ages when I was stubbornly failing. And like I said, I get it. I totally get it. That a blueprint has been proven. Somebody's already gone through that process and made money. I get that. It doesn't mean it's your process. It doesn't mean it's your way. If that's worked for them, more power to them. Doesn't mean it's for you. So what we got to do is to really step into our own alignment and our trust that actually we know where we've got to go, well, what we can do, what feels good for us, what is actually going to work for us in this moment. And we can let energy guide us and also know how to market it and what things that we can do to get it out there and stuff, right? So the number 1 thing that has you wasting time and energy and effort and money on blueprint after blueprint after blueprint after blueprint. And by the way, the blueprints also have costs associated, like sacrificing time with family, all the stuff we spoke about earlier with the boundaries, because you're sacrificing so much to try and implement the blueprints, And if you're anything like me, I was getting so grumpy that these blueprints were not working. And why can't I get it to work? And then I start getting into this. I'm so stupid. I'm not good enough for this. There must be something I'm missing. There's something special about them that I don't have. If only I could. And that's when I got to if only I could. And actually, there was no only I could after that. The only I could that has ever made any difference to me in my world is if only I could, blah, if only I could trust myself, trust my energy, okay? Yes, you can know marketing principles, and that absolutely supports you, and this is, you know, a lot of where this comes from. But the reality is that stepping into a place of alignment is really what is going to support you. So blueprints, they're wasting all your time, money, effort, energy, focus, all of it, because it's not your place of alignment. It's somebody else's place of alignment. And when you're not in your place of alignment, it's like, have you ever seen people who have literally copied word for word somebody else's post and it's not had the same engagement or impact? It's because it doesn't feel right. This is why when people start to replicate their coaches' posts and it doesn't get the same level of interaction, it's because their energy was never meant for it. You can change the words, it can make all the beautiful logical sense in the world, but it's actually not going to resonate with anybody because they can feel that it's not in alignment. They can feel that those words, that message was never meant for that person in that moment. Does this make sense? You do the blueprint, you're stepping into somebody else's alignment. It's like, and I always say this, it's like me wanting to look like Beyonce and putting her underwear on. Well, it's not going to make me look like Beyonce, and it's just going to be really uncomfortable, and it's not going to give me support. And it's the same as your business model. It's going to feel uncomfortable, and it's not going to give you the support that you're looking for. Does this make sense? Let me know. Laura's saying, speaking my language, lady. I love it. Let me know if this makes sense, because I'm going to share with you in a moment how you can create a course super fast. Like literally get a piece of pen and paper now because you can do it with me. Let me know. Does this make sense? If you have any questions, you can just drop me some hearts because I know that there's a delay. So when you sat around for ages, when the delay catches up and I'm still there going, let me know. Jodie's saying sure does. Perfect. Okay, I'm wondering if, maybe I am going to draw this on here. There is also the play sheet as a pinned post. So if you want to get the play sheet, then you can totally get it because actually the process is in there as well. But I'm going to talk you through it and use the Gentle Hustle experience as a demonstration of how I created Gentle Hustle experience, okay? So the first thing you want to know is, obviously you want to know these things first, okay? You want to know what your alignment is. You want to know who your soulmate client is. You want to know how to connect with her based on what she's searching for now, because you can take her on a mini journey every single time. Every single time you have a conversation with her. But here's what's going to happen. You want to know where she is. And so when I was, I'm like, oh my God, the worst teacher ever. So I bought a program once and just could not implement it even after making changes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It does, like, it's so hard to implement programs that aren't in alignment. I used to skip this ideal client avatar bit all the times. I'm like, this does not make sense. How can you connect with a vague group of people? It doesn't feel good. Took me a while to cut on to why, but got there in the end. So you want to understand where she is. So for me, people who are my soulmate client, where they're at now is that they're looking for blueprint because they want to have something which is proven that is going to create this consistent 5-figure income for them. Because actually they're searching for the income because wealth makes them feel good. But moreover, it's not even about the income, but that's what they're searching for. It's about having this impact in the world, but also creating connection with their family, because they've tried so many things to get their business up and running, and yet they're not really spending much time with their family. They're not present with their family. They're not creating their version of freedom, which means that they get to go and create all these amazing memories, that they're not checking the bank every time that they go to the shops and they can just buy whatever they want, that they're not having to save up for holidays. They can just book a holiday whenever they choose to. And they also get to do it in a way that means that they are working only in school hours and not having to work after the little one's gone to bed and spend loads of time hustling. They want to know that it feels really good for them. They want to be able to step into a place that feels good, because actually they're searching for the blueprints, but they are done with the blueprints, but they don't know what else there is. Like, if it's not a blueprint, what else is there? How else can I create this 6-figure, 7-figure impact in the world, whatever it looks like? Does that make sense? So where she is now, she is burnt out from blueprints. She is overwhelmed. She is frustrated. Okay. And where she wants to get to, so this is what you want to do, is go where, I had to put it down here, hold on. Where she wants to get. Okay, so you want to know where she wants to get. So for Gentle Hustle, she wants consistent 5-figure months in a way that feels good, so that she can create her own version of freedom. It's super simple. Consistent 5-figure months in a way that feel good, so that she can create her version of freedom. Does that resonate? Does this make sense? Drop me some hearts if this makes sense. Totally just realised as well, I'm using a Sharpie and not an actual whiteboard pen, so feeling the fumes right now. This is what happens when you're running around like crazy trying to sort out meditations and stuff for the little one before. This is why I don't work in evenings generally anymore. Let me know if this makes sense and resonates with you. If you can get really clear on these things, and you can get really clear, you know who your soulmate client is and what she's looking for, and you get to put the meat on the bones afterwards if you like. You get to go into the depths afterwards, but let's get out of overthinking and let's actually start taking action. Because when you get a soul, like a soul whisper or a soul nudge, you want to act on that right there and then. You don't want to be going, oh, I'm going to survey my audience, and then what I'm going to do is journal about it for 5 weeks, and then oh, it doesn't feel right anymore, I'm just not going to do it. Anybody had that before? I have. And this is the truth, right? We can get so much in our own heads because we're not trusting that the downloads are right. When the download comes, it's the time now. Make it super simple. Go through this process. So you want to know where she is, you want to know where she wants to get to, and then you want to create the steps that are going to get her from here to here. For me, it comes in this really handy triangle. Thank you, Maslow, for the inspiration. It comes in this really handy triangle because I know that the steps for my soulmate client to get to 5-figure consistent months are to work on her alignment and build her business based on her boundaries, to understand who her soulmate client is, deeply understand, to connect with her, to create this beautiful transformational offer that feels really good, that you can get genuinely excited about, to have a super simple conversation that's not a pushy sales call, to work out after it's been created how to continue getting more of this, how to create a funnel and build ads, to have this happening consistently. It's like your backbone of your business when you've got this funnel and ads in place that are going to continue to deliver over and over again. So if your little one's poorly, it doesn't matter. If you want to book a holiday over Easter, go. It doesn't matter. Your business is going to still keep running. Does this make sense? Yeah? Let me know. Drop me some hearts. Give me some comments. I'm very needy tonight. So where she is, where she wants to get to, these are my steps. You can have as many steps or as few steps as is right to actually get her from where she wants to be, so where she is to where she wants to be. It could be 2 steps. If it gets her from one place to another, she doesn't care. She's actually only looking for the transformation. She's not looking for what goes into it. As long as she gets to here, that's all she wants. So you create this alignment and you create these steps, and then you start to say, okay, what is the duration? And I'm like, well, logically for me, that's 8 weeks. And so when I first launched Gentle Hustle, it was 8 weeks, because I'm like, well, it's 8 weeks. People want fast results. What I realized was that when people got to this selling piece, because for me to build a funnel, it's got to be selling first, because what is the point of building a funnel for something that's not selling? Like, hello, logic. So you've got to be selling in the Gentle Hustle experience. So what I realized was that some people needed extra time to catch up with that piece. So then I bulked that piece out so that there was time to go and make sales. And also because I want people to make their money back in that container, not like go away and do it afterwards. Here's a course, go and fill your boots. I want people to make money in that container. So I tweaked it after it had been delivered the first time. So now it's a 10-week course because of the experience in the first 8 weeks, in the first time it was run. And I'm like, what else can I put in there that is going to make it really super simple? I know that most people I work with, well, certainly my soulmate client, is not a fan of tech. So I'm like, okay, well, I can do the tech. Let's make it super simple. Like, we'll create the funnel, we'll put the ads in place. You've made the sales, we'll build all that. You've not got to touch it. And so then I was like, okay, what else can make it even easier? Like real long lasting. This is consistent 5-figure months. And for me, it's not about only taking the steps. It's also about the energy work that goes hand in hand with those steps. So at each point, there is a specific energy piece that I know comes up, that I know is going to create this moment of doubt or this moment of fear that actually energetically is kind of abrasive to what the actions are. So let's remove that. Let's create this really beautiful flow. So I've gone through that process. Literally took me 5 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, what do I want to charge for it? I'll tell you, the first time I sold this program, I charged £400. I think it was like $397. Well, I sold out 14 spaces off the back of 2 organic posts. I actually only wanted 10 people in the first one. Sold out 14 spaces. Most of those people have continued to work with me. So what happens at the front end is not everything that happens, if that makes sense. So you get to create this really beautiful experience for people who then become like lifelong clients, because when you connect with a soulmate client, you genuinely care about their results and you genuinely love spending time with them. Otherwise, you're not in alignment, so you don't want to work with them anyway. Does this make sense? So you can go through that process yourself. Like, where do they want to be? Where are they now? Sorry, where do they want to be? What are the steps that are going to get them there? And obviously, in the Gentle Hustle experience, we go into a bit more detail around this. And there is a lot more one-on-one support, accountability. Obviously, there's Q&As, there's the energy alignment and all of those beautiful pieces that come together, as well as building the funnel at the end. And what I really find with Gentle Hustle is that, like I said at the beginning, this is the power of a group collective. The collective energy and the camaraderie and the cheerleading that happens in that space is really, really magical. Does anyone have any questions on what I've shared tonight and how you can go and create your own course that feels really good and can sell super fast? Super fast. Like literally when I decided to do Gentle Hustle the first time, it was, I think it was 2 weeks. So I'd started promoting it. I did 2 posts and then realized that it sold out super fast. So then I started doing some early stuff. Oh, by the way, also what I included in Gentle Hustle, probably because it started earlier than I planned, was a 10-day bonus, a 10-day fast start bonus, so that people who were already in there could start making money really quick. So within the first 10 days, you can get into the space ready to make money. And people were booking discovery calls in those first 10 days as well, which was amazing. Laura's saying, cannot wait to get started. Yeah, awesome women in the group already. It's amazing. And so what I would like to finish off with is 2 things. Download your play sheet and really work on some of the things that I've asked you to action. What are the things that you can change in your business? When are you going to change them by? And really take the action to do that, because these simple tweaks are going to make such a huge difference in your business. If you are not selling a course right now, use the course creation outline. Go and create that course outline and keep it super simple. Okay, don't overcomplicate it. Don't start piling loads of things in because you think you've got it or because somebody else did. And you also get to choose how you deliver it. Again, we go into more depth with that in the Gentle Hustle experience. So for those of you who are interested in the Gentle Hustle experience, we actually start on Monday. The investment is £995, which includes all of the live training. Last time I'm running it live, by the way, so you get a lot of personalized support. It includes the energy sessions as well. Again, you get a lot of personalized support with that. It includes group Q&A stroke group coaching. I don't really consider myself as a coach. So it's more intuitive guidance and gentle, loving nudges sometimes. So I want to see your results. I want you to be my next best case study. It also includes access to a staycation, which is a 2-day retreat where we explore your soul deep desires, and then we look at how you can actually remove any resistance to bringing those into reality. You get access to all of those recordings as well. What else do you get? I've totally forgotten what else you get. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pop the the sales page in here, and we are closing doors on Sunday at 9 p.m. So if you want to join in, this is the best time to join in, because you are going to get the most access to me that will ever be gotten again. You also get one-on-one work with me to get your funnel set up, so you will work directly with me and I will build your funnel with you in real time so you can see how it all works. And after that, the course is going to be evergreen, so it will work differently. This is the most personalized time you are going to have with me in this course for this price. We would never build a funnel in the agency for this price at all. Okay, so Esmeralda's saying, what type of course would you recommend for a coach and a Reiki practitioner? Well, here's what I would recommend. And genuinely, I cannot say without going through these, because it is so wrong of me to say, here's the course for you to do, when it's all the way up here and I don't know any of these pieces. This is what I mean. So many people are saying, go and do this kind of course. Well, you've got to have these pieces in place first. This is your alignment. This is, if you don't know who your soulmate client is, how can you create a course that's perfect for her right now? If you don't know what she's looking for or how to connect with her, or you don't know your boundaries, how can you create something that you're actually going to energetically show up to sell? Because you might be doing all the actions. You might be going, look, I'm doing all the actions, I'm posting, I'm doing sales calls. But if it's out of alignment, your energy is going to be going, whoa, don't buy from me. Do you see? So genuinely, you are going to be looking at something like this. I mean, you could teach people how to do Reiki. You could do virtual Reiki healing. You could do coaching and Reiki. I genuinely don't, like, those are so generic. It's not going to sell because it's not speaking to a specific person with a specific where she is now, like an actual, I'm searching for the answer to this. Does that make sense? And I don't mean to be flippant about it, Esmeralda, because I do understand that it can feel overwhelming when you're looking at a course and you're going, I know I want to create this course, and yet I don't know what I could do with my skills. Because I don't see many people, in fact, I don't know of anybody, I'm not saying that there is nobody, I don't know of anybody who also builds you a funnel as part of a course, as part of an experience. So that is something that I do because I recognize that my soulmate client doesn't want to be faffing around with technology. It feels overwhelming, it feels out of alignment. So, like, don't do it. I'll do it for you. You don't even have to touch it. So when you're creating a course, it's all based on her. Does that make sense? So I can't sit here and say to anybody without knowing any of those things, here's what you go create. That would be out of integrity, and it would be wrong. And this is another reason why I really want to share this message, because I see so many people doing, oh, you could just create a course about this, oh, you could just create a course about that, and then when it doesn't sell, well, it's, oh, you could just create a course about something that other people are selling as well. So what is it that's special about what you're doing, and what is it that really connects energetically about what you're doing that allows people to be magnetized into your world and say yes? Because that's the other thing, right? They've got to be magnetized into your world. They've also got to say, yes, I want that course. So what is it that you have that is in alignment, that is energetically in alignment with all of these pieces, that connects with your soulmate client, that really understands what she's going through? Because what we can also do is get very caught up in this, oh, I always do weight loss. I don't know why I always do weight loss. Like, I help people lose weight. Well, yes, people like wake up in the morning and say, oh, I really need to do something about my weight. But what doesn't normally happen is that they go, I want to do something about my weight without there being an underlying reason. Like there's always an underlying reason. When you can connect with that underlying reason and what that ripple effect is in their world, then you can really start to speak to her in a way that connects, in a way that stands out above the crowd, and in a way that she can resonate with so deeply that when you say, I have something that is going to solve this for you right now, do you want it? She's like, yeah, because you understand my pain. You understand it. I have heard a story. I'll probably totally butcher it, but I'm going to share it anyway. That there's a guy who's got this pain in his elbow, and he's been to see all these doctors and all these specialists and these practitioners, and nobody can get to what it is. He's had all these tests and nobody knows what it is. And he's moaning about it on the phone one day, and he's like, nobody knows what it is, and it's driving me mad. I can't play tennis, I can't write properly, I can't journal, I can't do all these things. And there's this tramp on the street saying, that pain in your arm, does it like give you pins and needles in your finger? He's like, yeah. And he's like, and does it like click when you make it straight? Yeah, it does. And does it really hurt when you've been eating your dinner too long if you've been using that hand too much? And he's like, yeah. How do you know all this? Like, he's a tramp on the street. I keep saying tramp. Why do I keep saying that word? It's not very PC. I'm super sorry about that. But he's like not got a doctor's coat on. He's not stood there asking for thousands of pounds. He's not saying, like, I'm the best expert at this. What he's actually done is said, does it do this? Like, he's described the pain in that much detail that the guy has piqued his interest. And he's like, I totally get it. He's got his attention. You have to remember that in this crowded online space, we've got to be getting attention as much as we have got to be getting that connection, and the connection creates the attention. Because when we get the attention, we're all like this on our phones all the time, right? Scroll, scroll, scroll. If it's generic, do you want to lose weight? You're just going to scroll straight past it. If it's, I know that you think you want to lose weight, but actually, I know that really you want to stand on stage and talk, and you don't feel confident doing that because you feel like you're not your ideal weight at the moment, or you feel that successful people are really slim, or whatever it is. When you can connect with that deeper level that's really going on for them and explain that, you have their attention, they connect with you, and energetically, because you've gone through all of this and you're totally in alignment with it all, you're energetically magnetic on a much deeper level. Does this make sense? So this is why you can't go straight in here, because you've missed off, like, there's no stability in it. You've missed off half the process. Does that make sense? Let me know if you've got any questions. So if you would like to join Gentle Hustle, I would really love to have you in there. We've already got a lovely group of ladies in there who are setting intentions and really getting into the vibe of it all. And the sooner you join up, the sooner you can immerse yourself in the staycation recordings as well. So there's 2 days of recordings that were like epic in terms of the shifts and in terms of the breakthroughs that people had, and in terms of the energy releases and the way we got to explore things. So the sooner you sign up, you get those, plus you get the 10-day fast track bonus. So you can start booking calls, making money within the first 10 days. Does anyone have any questions about what I've shared tonight, or about what or about Gentle Hustle? Feel free to PM me as well. PM me, private message me. I say things and I'm like, I am not cool enough to say that. You know, when you say something, you're like, yeah, not street enough. You can private message me if you want to ask some questions. Otherwise, you can ask away in here. You can tag me if I'm going to go, because I am going to go in a minute. You can always tag me. Otherwise, if you're just joining, watch the replay, because I have shared quite a lot today. So I hope you've all enjoyed it. You can always share some more hearts with me if you've enjoyed it. Shari, as usual, make loads of sense and put me back on track. Yeah, love it. Thank you, Astrid. Feel free to leave more comments like that. Okay, so here's what I'm going to suggest is, if you have any part of you that is intrigued or would like to know a little bit more about Gentle Hustle, I'd love to have a chat with you, because this is the last time this program is going to be running this way. This is the last time you will get to work with me so directly for a low investment. There are also payment plans. So when I said the investment is $995, there's also payment plans that start from £99 a month. So you can get access to this really for £99 a month. And like I said, you've got the 10-day fast track that will allow you to start getting calls booked. And plus, by week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to be making sales. You're going to go do sales, and I will be lovingly nudging you into making sales. Okay, because the funnels and stuff, they don't get built unless you've made sales. Hey Joe, she's just joined. We'll watch it straight back. Yes, do that. Maxine's so awesome. Thank you, lovely. Amalda said, Miss Summit, well, what do we pay? Love what you do and how you deliver. Thank you, lovely. Oh, I'm receiving all your compliments. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed sharing this with you, and I hope you can start to look at and I'm not bashing how other people do business. If that works for them, then that works for them. What I am saying for me is that it didn't work for me. And despite my best efforts and maxing out my credit cards several times and having my enforced epiphany moment, enforced because I totally manifested, but also I wasn't quite ready for it. And this is the thing, like, when are we ever ready for that moment where we jump all in and go, I'm going to do it and I'm going to trust that this is right for me? Which is why I'm saying to you, if any part of your energy, if any part of your being is curious about Gentle Hustle, come and ask me, because you can get started for only £99, and this is the last time you're going to have as much access or personalized support as now. Plus, it's like, I don't know how it's going to look in the Evergreen. I work with what Soul says all the time. So after this round, if Soul says Evergreen's going to be totally different, it might be totally different. So if there's any part of your energy that is going, find out more, I'm curious, then come and ask me, because we can have a chat. We can look at anything that's going on for you, and I would love you to be part of this. This is a new paradigm, ladies. We've got to change it by actually being the examples for the people in the industry, for people who are in business too. So come and join me in the new paradigm. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask away. Feel free to tag me and message me if you want to find out more about Gentle Hustle. And I'm going to go and get some water because my mouth is so dry. I was very unprepared. And if anybody knows how to get Sharpie off a whiteboard because I picked up the wrong pen, please let me know. I would be very grateful to give Archie his whiteboard back without all my stuff on it. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you so much, lovelies, and I will see you all soon.